Hello, and welcome to Health and Fitness Redefined. I'm your host, Anthony Amen, and welcome to a new year. As you might have noticed, we are shortening our intro up. We want to get our episodes to you guys quicker, faster this year, so you can take more action during this upcoming year. Before we jump into this episode, if you guys have any topics you would like me to hit in 2024, which by the way, we are now in, please shoot us a message, Health Fitness Redefined Podcast at gmail.com, and I'd be happy to discuss those episodes. As you probably noticed from the title of this episode, it is all about setting goals for the new year. This will be the fourth year I've put this out. So if you want to gain knowledge from previous episodes, go back to January of the past years and take a look at previous episodes where we discussed it. But this is going to be the episode you need to listen to in order to make 2024 your year. So I'm going to start with the most important thing first. So if there's any action you're going to take from what we discussed today, it is going to be this one. You're going to take this episode, pause it, and then you're going to share it to somebody. Anthony, why is sharing your episode going to help me achieve my goals in 2024? Because there's going to be a caveat associated with that sharing. That caveat is when you share this episode, you're going to tell this person, hey, I am sharing this episode. Here is what I'm looking to do out of the topics that we discussed today. And I want to achieve this by this time, June 1st, May 1st, whatever it may be. This is my goal. So you are making yourself accountable to somebody else. And then what I want you to ask them is, please listen to the episode and let me know what goal you're going to achieve for the new year so we can have accountability partners. Now you're telling other people. So why is this the most important thing? Because we suck. And I'm going to emphasize stuck at punishing ourselves in order to, if we did not achieve a goal. How many times have you not did something and then went, oh, well, self-punishment is what makes serial entrepreneurs. Self-punishment and having that ability is what makes all stars. I beat myself up in my head every single day. I know that if I don't do something by when I said I'm going to do it, I do more harm to myself by saying, why didn't you do that? I don't understand. You talk all big game and you don't do A, B, C, D. It makes me do it. It makes me show up. David Goggins is probably the most pivotal person I could talk to on this. He gives himself more self-punishment than anybody on earth. So to a lot of people, it seems crazy what he does, but we know it's not because he's just pushing himself further every day with himself. So if we can't have self-punishment and you know you're going to let yourself get away with it, we're going to have an accountability partner or partners. You want to be actually even better. You want to make yourself accountable, blow this up, make a group chat, 10, 15, 20, put it on social media. Say, hey, keep me accountable for hitting this goal. Check in on me during these intervals to make sure I'm on the right track. So what's the first thing we're going to learn? Make an accountability partner. Tell them what you're going to achieve. So if you don't achieve that goal or that goal starts getting close, you're going to get embarrassed. And then when you don't hit that, have a punishment associated with that. That person's going to call you out on your BS and give that person permission to call you out on your BS. So even if you fail this time around, the next time around you do it, you're going to go, wow, I really don't want to do that. And I don't want to compare us to dogs, but I think this is a good example. If we have a dog, because I have a puppy right now, as everyone knows, if I don't punish her and say, don't do this, then she's going to keep doing that, right? She's going to keep ripping up my couch, peeing in the house. I have to let her know it's not okay to do those things so she knows to go outside. And then when she does something well, I reward her with that positive reinforcement. Wow, that was such a good job. Good girl. So she knows I can continue this behavior. Same thing with kids. Kids need to be punished. I've been punished many times in my life, and I definitely deserved every single one. So I needed to have those punishments in order to know that those behaviors were not okay. Same thing with not committing murder or stealing from somebody. There's punishments associated with those things in our society, so we know it's not okay to do those things. First step of action, and I know I'm hitting into this, send this episode to someone, attach it with what your goal is, and make sure they keep you accountable to whatever that goal is. All right, we're going to move on. So, New Year's Day, this episode is obviously recorded. You are not going to hear from me New Year's Day. Why? Because New Year's Eve, I've learned a couple years back, is a waste of time. What benefit is there to watch the clock turn to midnight? To me, nothing. I don't understand it. I don't get it. I'm going to wake up. It's still going to be the new year. So in my eyes, I take this as an action day. So many people are procrastinating. They're going to blow off not only New Year's Eve, but New Year's Day because they went out drinking or they're just too tired from being up. And that's going to carry over, even lack of sleep, even not drinking. Lack of sleep can carry over 3 days where you're just in a brain fog. I don't want that. I want to be fresh, ready to go new year now. So I go to bed early, usually like 9:30. I wake up. This year I'm going to try inviting other people, but I usually do it on my own. So I can have those accountability partners on top of the self-punishment I give myself if I don't achieve. And I'm going to draft up goals. You've heard me talk about this previously on the show. I have a printed list on my computer. It's right there. I see it every single day. This is my goal. This is how I'm going to hit that goal. And here is how I broke down each separate month to make sure that I can keep myself accountable to going back to hitting that goal. So how do we make goals, right? Always the first question. I'm going to say I want to lose weight. What the hell does that mean? What does losing weight look like? Is it really losing pant size? Is it really just building muscle? Is it really just hitting your high school weight? What does losing weight mean? This is where we bring in an acronym called SMART goals. SMART goals are specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. I'm not going to dive through each syllable, but I'm going to give you the summary of it right now. A SMART goal is something that you can actually achieve and has a definition associated with it in a timely manner. For example, I would like to lose 10 pounds by June 1st. Now, if I'm trying to lose 10 pounds and that's in 6 months, that's reasonable. Anyone can lose 10 pounds in 6 months. That's very reasonable. What I'm not doing is saying, I'm going to lose 200 pounds by February 1st. I'm giving myself an impossible scenario to achieve it. Another thing I'm not doing is I'm not going to say, I want to lose 10 pounds. I didn't set a date. I didn't set a time. I'm not giving myself a deadline, right? Think about essays you've done in college or whatever, homework you've had to do. If it didn't have a deadline associated with it, you never would have done it because you always waited till the night before, day of to get it done. Trust me, guilty as charged. So make sure that you have a deadline associated with that. I like tying this into events. So if you're trying to lose weight or get healthy or fit into a certain dress size, have it tied into a wedding you have to go to. An event you're looking forward to, a vacation you're looking forward to, even just the summer. I want to look good in that bikini that I'm going to rock around in coming summer 2024. I know it's a little far away, but some of us have warm weather right now where we're from. Think of those things in your head and then track that and write that out, right? So let's do something for a full year because this is what I do. I would like to lose 40 pounds by the end of the year. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take those 40 pounds, I'm going to divide those 40 pounds by 12 because there's 12 months in a year. Roughly 3.3 pounds per month. And now I know, okay, it's roughly slightly less than 1 pound per week that I need to lose. Now, how do I lose 1 pound per week? We're working backwards. See, we didn't just set a goal. Now we're going to work back into that goal. So 1 pound per week. Well, if I just go by calories in, calories out, I know that there's a specific amount of calories that I need to burn in order to lose, which is what? 3,500. Very good. So 3,500 calories is equivalent to 1 pound of fat. So I need to burn 3,500 calories per week as a loss in order to lose 1 pound. So if I have a 500 calorie a day deficit per day, whether that's through exercise or not eating as much food, I will lose 1 pound per week over the course of a year will be 52 pounds, which is way higher than my goal was expected. And I'll be able to hit it. You can always add back. I don't like doing the having every year. I like having a relaxing weekend once in a while. So I'm not going to make it 52 pounds. So I picked the number like 40, for example. Birthday weeks, vacations. It's very hard. I mean, it's possible, but you should be able to enjoy yourself to a certain extent, but still setting a realistic goal. So something like 40, 45 pounds. If I lose a pound per week, is more realistic because I'm going to have those lapse weeks. But what I would do is program those lapse weeks in today. So I'm going to say, I know I'm going away in March. I know I'm going away in June. So those 2 weeks, I'm going to write out maintain. Now, I'm not going to overindulge while I'm away. I'm not going to gain weight. I'm not going to have a 500 calorie increase on top, but I'm going to make sure I'm conscious of what I want to do and make sure I don't go above and beyond. I'm not going to go out to a resort and lay on a beach all day and drink margaritas and eat all the bad food. Instead, I'll balance in going for a walk around the town. I walk a lot on vacation. I love it. See the sights, get 20,000 steps in a day, have that calorie deficit while enjoying a margarita in Mexico. See what I'm doing there? I'm working on and maintaining while still being able to enjoy myself, as opposed to, okay, hands up in the air, screw it. Now I'm going to have a 500 calorie increase, and now I got to lose 2 pounds because I promised myself I'll lose a pound, but I gained a pound. Makes the weight harder, way more attainable. All right, that's losing weight. We set up a SMART goal: specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. We set a big goal. We divided it by months or by weeks. We got weekly goals. Now we have something we can keep tabs of. Now we're going to take those weekly goals or monthly goals. We're going to write it out. We're going to print it, post it. So you're going to see where your weight should be each week. And you're going to make sure that every week or every month, you're going to go back and check. So when you see a disappointment week, which you know is going to come in February or March, wow, I need to get myself back in order. I didn't hit. You let your accountability partner know that when we set up before, I didn't hit this week. We need to keep each other more accountable. Hey, let's go for an extra walk together, you and I, and make sure we hit that goal of what it is we need to accomplish. So we have our SMART goals, we have our accountability partner keeping us in tabs, and we have everything printed out in front of us for the new year. This is something we've talked about a few times, which is the power of small incremental changes. You hear all the time that increasing 1% every day is a change of 365% over the course of a year, meaning you can be almost 4 times a different person that you were the start of January. So by next January, I'll be 365% better next year, which is a huge change just by doing 1% every single day. This is used a lot in business, which you can definitely apply it to there. This is used a lot in health and fitness, which we're trying to accomplish right now. But we're setting those 1% small changes. We're not going for a big goal. Because if I set a big goal, I'm just going to freak out. I'm never going to hit it. I'm going to panic. And I'm going to probably end up yo-yoing, which for those that don't know what that means, it's doing some stupid diet like keto or I don't know. I heard it from a friend. This guy at the gym does it. I swear I'm going to lose weight off of XYZ. I took Ozempic, whatever. I'm going to go do these crazy things to lose a bunch of weight quickly, and then I'm never going to create a habit. So because I don't have a habit of weight loss and I haven't changed my lifestyle whatsoever, I'm going to gain all that weight back plus 10% more. Yeah, 10%. You heard me right. That's how the average amount of people gain weight back. It's 10% more of what they were planning on losing. I wanted to lose 100 pounds. I lost 100 pounds. Then I gained back 110. Darn, I needed 10 pounds. Now I got to lose 110 pounds. And we get into that cycle over and over and over again. Habits. Taking it a step further. Going back to accountability partners. When accountability partner, hire somebody. You don't have a friend, you don't have a family member, you're too embarrassed to tell them what your goal is. Hire a coach, hire a trainer, hire whatever. The beauty of coaches and even specifically trainers, if it's for weight loss, it's less that they're going to teach you to be safe. It's less that they're going to help you get a good workout. It's less that they're going to program anything for you. The biggest reason it works is because you're paying for it. And not only are you paying for it, you're paying an extraordinary amount of money for it. Weird. The best coaches, aka Tony Robbins, Brendan Burchard, make a lot of money being coaches. And the reason being, they know the psychology behind paying them upwards of like $10,000 a month. You heard me right. $10K a month. If you're paying that extreme amount of money, you're going to pay attention. You're going to take everything they say. You're going to write it out. You're going to make sure you follow it because you're like, oh my God, that's a lot of money. I need to make sure this works. Yes, their ideas and their beliefs work like training. Yes, it works. We could get you there. But if we don't charge an extreme amount of money to make sure we get the best coaches, to make sure we get you keep showing up, then you're never going to follow through on it. How many of you have a Planet Fitness membership? We're going to go join Planet Fitness tomorrow or today because they have some crazy $0 down, $10 a month deal and never go. Never. And Planet Fitness has the reverse model. They said, they looked at this model of people. They said, okay, how do we demotivate people? Yes, this is true. You don't believe me? Go look this up. Planet Fitness is saying, I know people have these goals. I know they have these realistic expectations of what they want to hit. They want to lose weight. How do we make sure they don't hit it? I know. Let's take a gym where it's a safe space, quote unquote, not have anyone in shape there. And if they do something that's considered a gym bro kind of style, we're going to kick them out. And we're going to call it a lunk alarm or whatever. We're going to make these people look bad. Those people that have those crazy good habits, those people that are in shape, those people that you want to look like, we're going to kick them out. That way you have no motivation when you're in our gym. You're going to look around and be like, yeah, I fit in. And you're going to have no motivation to do better. This is why powerlifters travel like an hour and a half to a gym because they want to surround themselves with people that are better than them. It's true. Nassau County has a huge gym. A lot of people I know from like out by me, so it's over an hour, go out there because that is the bodybuilding gym they're going to because they know they're going to push themselves harder because of watching people do more than them. So that's the first thing they did. The second thing they did is food is a huge factor in making sure people don't lose weight. So I'm going to throw in pizza and bagels that you're going to smell while you're working out and you're going to get those cravings. And you're going to be like, wow, okay, maybe just this one time. And then the bad habits are going to cycle out of it. They don't want you there. Each gym has upwards of 15,000 members per location. If everyone showed up, there'd be no room to work out. They would be overcrowded. They'd be over fire code. So they needed to kick everybody out. And they make sure that you have to show up, but you're too embarrassed to show up to cancel because you haven't been in 6-7 months. So you're just going to keep paying because you're way too embarrassed to do it. This is the Planet Fitness model. We don't want this model. This is that negative feedback loop. We want that positive feedback loop. So going back to what I was saying previously is we're going to make sure we charge an exorbitant amount of money with people that want you to get the results. So you go ahead and you go get those results. You go ahead and you start pushing forward to a better tomorrow and you end up being happier and healthier moving on. Now, another huge pet peeve, right? So we went through a bunch of different stuff. This is huge. Start now. Simple. It sounds simple. Start now. But how many of you are saying, you know, I heard this episode. It's the weekend. Nah, I'll start Monday. Or, nah, it's December 31st. If I'm listening to this in the previous year, I'll wait till the new year to start. How many of you did that all week and just pushed it off? And then what's going to happen? Your calendar is going to fill up. You're going to get busy. And you're going to end up not starting because you put it off and it became less of a priority in your life. If you want to lose weight, you want to feel better, you want to look better, you want to be healthier, you want to be around for your kids, start now. Teach people to do things now. Stop putting things up. So now is the best time. When I diet, and my dieting is really just making sure I'm just eating a little healthier and walking more, I don't say I'm going to start tomorrow. I say, you know, I'm starting to feel like myself, my energy levels are going down. I need to make sure I get back to a cleaner diet. I'm going to start now. This very second. We're going. That way, by changing my brain and starting to push myself into that habit of doing things now. And I apply this to business as well. I do everything I need to do now. I'm not going to wait till Monday to start that course. I'm not going to wait till next month to start doing this exercise or thing for my business. I'm going to do it now. I'm going to make sure I keep going until I get it done because I'm going to be the most mad at myself, back to self-punishment, if I don't achieve this going forward. So it's very important, guys. You start now. You want to lose weight? Plan it all out now. I don't care what you're doing. Stop everything. Start planning it out. If you're driving while listening to it, just start thinking about it in your head. I'm going to start now. I'm going to go home, and whether I'm on breakfast, lunch, or dinner, whatever that meal is going to be, it's going to be healthier. And it's that way I know it's coming tomorrow. I'm not be like, well, I got this party coming up, and I want to go do this. No, I'm going to know I need to do that now and start pushing forward into it. Now, a huge point. What is your why? Right? So you've heard me talk about this. A why is why you want to accomplish that goal. Everyone always says, for example, they want to lose weight. Great, but why? Why do you want to lose weight? Well, I want to feel better. Why do you want to feel better? Well, I've been really depressed lately. Why have you been so depressed lately? Well, I'm starting to realize there's a little rift in my relationship. My wife doesn't see me as good looking as I once was. I noticed that, our relationship isn't as good. Why? Because I stopped taking care of myself. And now I'm really depressed of what's going on with everything around me. And I'm really worried I'm not going to be there for my kids. See what we did there? We dove. You've heard me say ask why 5 times in order to get to the real answer of what it is. And that's the answer you need to know. You need to know the emotional reason behind why you're trying to do something. Not I'm going to go say it in front of 400 people my why and come up with this BS point because I just want to lose weight to feel better. Great. Why is that reason? And whatever that reason is, whatever that why is, write that why out. Print that why up. Put it on that paper you just made up, right? Along with all your goals that you're tracking, that emotional, impactful why. Because a lot of us, especially those that are married or have kids, it's trying to be healthier for them. They're noticing that their kids are starting to pick up their bad habits because kids are going to look up to us. Kids are going to say, wow, mom and dad are the best people in the world. I'm going to do what they're doing. And you start seeing your kids starting to build gaining weight and starting to be more lethargic and starting to have health issues. And it's going to hurt you because you're watching your kids starting to destroy their lives. You're just thinking, well, how do I get my kids to be healthier? No. How do you get healthier? You start creating those positive habits, and then your kids are going to mimic mom and dad. Kids love mom and dad. They want to make sure they're exactly like them, no matter what that is. So start picking up those positive habits so your kids can see it. Have a fun little walk around the block as a family. Pick up that little habit of just going for a walk together, spending time together, showing that walking around is awesome. I specifically remember going for bike rides with my parents all the time just to create the habit of going out and doing something and not sitting in front of a TV all day. It's create those impactful moments, which is deeply entwined with what your why is, what you're trying to accomplish with whatever that is. Like my life right now is everything is planning for having a kid. I mean, we're talking about it going forward. So my mind's starting to shift. Wow, if I'm about to have a kid, I need to make sure everything's in order. I need to make sure I have my life. And say, I don't want my kid looking at dad and saying, wow, dad's really not successful. Dad talked about being here, and here, and he's not. I want my kid to say, my dad said he's going to do this, and he did it. My dad followed through with where his heart was. And they're going to talk about that to their kids, how impactful their dad was to them or their mom was to them. And that's going to change their lives generationally because they saw the hard work and the struggle that you did to make sure you did what you said you were going to do. So start with that why and start doing it now. I got to say, it's a huge pet peeve. And I probably should have mentioned this, but I think people just need to hear it. When parents come in with a 10-year-old or 12-year-old, hey, my kid's really overweight. They need to have a trainer and they start getting better habits. And then, great, I'm so happy we can help the kid. But the parent just sits there and watches. And the parent doesn't work out. And we say, what about you? You want to go hop on the treadmill or your kids work? Nah. But what do you think you think a kid's going to stick with this? No. The kid's going to be like, well, mom's not doing it. Why do I need to do it? Do it with your kid. Do stuff with your kids. Start putting those habits in now So they don't have the same struggles that you have years down the line, and they know that they can accomplish anything because they put all those good habits in at a young age. It was very hard to change over some bad habits that I created. Very hard. And you know that too. It's very difficult. So put it into work now so everyone else around you can see it. Not a huge one too, divorce. Or I hear from guys like all the time, my wife used to be hot. That's disgusting. Like, and I don't mean that in a mean way. I just mean like, well, you didn't take care of yourself, right? Like, you're not working out. You're not eating healthy. Why are you getting on your wife's case? Like, go join a gym. If you were working out and you were walking every day and you were eating right and your wife didn't follow suit, that's a different story. That's another conversation for you guys to go have. But how can you expect your spouse to do it if you're not doing it? Huh? And don't you want to have that electrifying relationship throughout the rest of your lives with your significant other? I tell Sarah all the time, like, I'm going to work out, and what I want is for you to look at me every single day and go, damn, that's my husband. We're in public. Like, that's my guy. Even when we're like 80 years old, that's a ripped grandpa over there. You see that? I don't work out for anybody else. I work out for her. So she sees that same guy she saw 10 years ago or 40 years ago or 50 years ago, whatever that time is we first met. And that's why we do it for each other. And then what do we just do? Go back to the beginning of the episode. We created an accountability partner through that as well. So now we have our spouse in where we want to do, or pushing us every day to do better. Even if we're not saying anything, it's not a verbal cue. This is all nonverbal. I'm not going to Sarah and be like, go start working out and eat healthier. What are you doing? No, I'm just putting the work in. She's watching it and she's going, damn, he's putting the work in. I got to put the work in too. And she just goes ahead and does it. And that's for everybody else. It's go ahead and do it. Go be better for yourself. Go be better for others. Whatever that why is, whatever that deep down reason that you need to feel better, you want to feel better, write it out, print it out, put it in front of you, and make sure you tell as many freaking people, this is my goal. This is what I'm going to accomplish. And if you don't hit it, I want you to beat yourself up for it, and I want them to keep beat yourself up for it. Not literally, by the way, but figuratively. That way you say, next time around, I can't do this. Look what's going to happen if I fall through. This is not something I want to go back to. I don't want that negative connotation. I don't want to be broke anymore. I don't want to feel like shit anymore. I don't want to be able to not walk to the mailbox anymore. I don't want to be able to not keep up with my kids. I don't want to sit here and have a $250,000 hospital bill all because I decided not to take care of myself. I don't want to die. That's a huge motivator. I don't want to die. I don't want to be 50 years old and die. I don't want that. Oh, even worse, I don't want to be 70 years old, drugged up on so much medication. I can't get out of bed. I can't do things. And I'm having side effects on side effects from those medication I'm taking to live. And I'll put that in like quotation marks, live. That's not living. That's horrible. I love the little just rectangular approach. I want to be born, get myself straight up, live my best life all the way to the end, and then just die. I'd rather die at 65 having a super healthy, energetic, happy, outgoing life than live to 85 where the last 20 years are miserable in bed. If I can make it to 85 and have that happy, healthy, outgoing, energetic life, so I took care of myself, even better. Even better. I'm going to spend as many years on this earth as humanly possible living the best possible life I can live for myself. I'm not going to do myself any disservice because I only get one. I got one shot at this to make sure I make a big impact on this earth, to make sure I can be there for my family, to make sure that I can make a name for myself. One chance. And if I'm not taking care of myself, by not feeding myself correctly or by not exercising and just sitting in front of TV and not taking action and not doing things now, then what the hell is the point? I don't know. I really don't. I'm going to make sure that I'm here for my community and my family and my friends and my wife and my future kids and even my dogs. Like, this is what we're here for. So you're going to do things now. You're going to take action, and we're going to change the world forever. I know this is a lot, guys. I know I've dove into a lot. I know I got really into it, but this is how important this topic is to me. So share this with a friend, get an accountability partner, and I'll see you next week. Until next time, don't forget, fitness is medicine.